Welcome on back to Super Stay. I have 4 must-add players for your fantasy baseball teams in Week 12. This video, once again, brought to you by Sorare MLB. Subscribe, join the Discord. Let's get into the 4 players. The first player is Nolan Jones of the Rockies, 59% roster, a little more than the threshold that I usually go for 50%. But if you're needing a guy right now for your teams, you're in a shallower league, Nolan Jones is that guy. In the majors so far this season, he's hitting .345, 4 home runs, 12 runs batted in. He has stolen 4 bases in an OPS over 1,000 at 1,044. Nolan Jones was a top Cleveland prospect for a couple of years before being moved to Colorado in the offseason. That sweet left-handed swing has found it in the majors. This year, across AAA and the big leagues, Jones has 16 home runs, 54 runs batted in only 57 games with 9 stolen bases as well. And all of these numbers didn't come at AAA. His numbers have not dropped off at all since he has gotten to the majors. Nolan Jones is launching baseballs, and we haven't seen a left-handed swing that sweet at Coors since Carlos Gonzalez. To add, Nolan Jones is slugging at a crazy high rate. Of his 21 big league hits this season, he has 5 doubles and 4 home runs for a slugging percentage of .613. The Rockies have been slotting Jones in all over the field, making sure that bat is still in the lineup, as he's played 8 games at first base, 8 in right field, and 2 in left field. Nolan Jones has upped his zone contact percentage from his stint in the big leagues last year. He has 76th percentile sprint speed, and his max exit velo is in the 93rd percentile. His average exit velocity is up. His launch angle is down. Doesn't really correlate to some other things. He's running a barrel rate above 15% and running a similar whiff rate to last season. I don't know what the change has been for Nolan Jones, but he is definitely figuring it out. He's going to strike out 1 every 3 at-bats, but if he is going to steal bases and hit for a ton of power, it is worth picking him up right now. So I am picking up Nolan Jones if I can. Second player this week is Luis Matos of the Giants. He's an outfielder, 19% rostered. So far this season, he has a .350 average, 10 home runs, 36 runs batted in, 15 stolen bases, and an OPS of .976. The Giants called up Matos yesterday, and he started his big league career against the Cardinals going 1 for 3 before being lifted for Michael Conforto. I think we're just hoping that he isn't coming up to hit in a platoon only against lefties, as when a righty came in, Conforto was brought into the game, but the Giants put him in the 2-hole yesterday, and that's a sign to me that I'm hoping that it doesn't happen, and I think he's just too talented to be a platoon guy at that level, and there's no reason for the Giants to bring him up if they're just not going to use him every day. Matos is now the 2nd youngest position player in the big leagues, and as I read about his prospect profile, he dropped out of favor last season because the best attribute for him was his ability to hit for average, and last season he went out and hit .215. You can't tell me that this guy's an average hitter and then go hit .215 in the minors the next season. But he came back this season and was absolutely raking at AA and AAA. In his 24 games at AAA, Matos was hitting .398 with 7 home runs, 20 runs batted in, and 6 stolen bases and an OPS of 1120. As of a week ago, he had only 4 home runs, but over the past week, he homered 6 times, thus bringing his season total up to 10. In addition to his .350 batting average, he struck out just an 8% rate that only 2 big league hitters have done the same. And those 2 hitters are Luis Arias and Keibert Ruiz. Both of those guys are kind of slap hitters, and Matos is not that, having raised his 90th percentile exit velocity by 4 miles an hour from a year ago. He has a great hit tool, and he has a blend of speed with a little bit of pop that makes him a guy you need to be picking up in your league should he still be used as an everyday guy. Regardless, I'm going to be taking my chances with Luis Matos. As you heard at the top of the show, we are doing a private contest on Sorare where you guys get to compete against me, take all your cards, take all your plays, where you can sign up for free and get some great prizes. But this great prize on Sorare for the private contest is a free subscription to MLB TV for the winner. If you don't like watching all the MLB games that are out of market for free from the comfort of your own home, you are crazy. So do not forget to join Sorare. Sign up. It is absolutely free. Join the private contest for this upcoming game week. And again, the winner gets to win an MLB TV subscription. So I'll see you guys on Sorare MLB. Third player this week is Owen Miller of the Brewers. He is 47% rostered so far this year. He's hitting .308, 4 home runs, 19 runs batted in, 9 stolen bases, and an OPS of .786. I think Owen Miller is not must-add to kind of take some guys off of your team. I think he's the perfect injury replacement if someone on your infield gets hurt. This type of production he's having this season came in waves last year for Owen Miller. His best tool is his ability to make contact and hit for average, and he is not going to hit a lot of baseballs that leave the yard. I think he's gone 4 home runs, 6 home runs, and now 4 home runs so far this season in his last 3 years at the big league level. So obviously we're not pushing pace in the home run leaderboard for Owen Miller, but they have Owen Miller hitting in the 4-hole, which should lead to a solid amount of counting stats, especially if you're going to hit for an average like this. And his ability to steal bases is a nice little treat as well. Owen Miller has an expected batting average in the 75th percentile, K percentage in the 76th percentile, whiff percentage in the 87th percentile, and sprint speed speed in the 87th percentile. Probably not going to be picking him up in on-base percentage leagues as he has a piss-poor walk rate, but as a temporary replacement, I love Owen Miller. And finally, the fourth guy is a former great pitcher last season, one of the best at the start of the year. Tarik Skubal, 18% rostered for the Tigers last year. He went 7-8, a 3.52 ERA, 117.2 innings pitched, 117 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.16. This was the Scott White write-up that got me very excited for Skubal. Scott White said, as widespread as pitching needs are, it's a wonder why Skubal has continued to slip through the cracks, and his return from elbow flexor surgery seems so distant at the start of the year, but here he is on a rehab assignment and dominating. Through his 2 starts, he has 5 scoreless innings, striking out 7 and walking none, and his fastball has peaked at 98 miles an hour and sat in the mid-90s, which is a little better than he had before. He was looking like a breakout pitcher last season, as he had a 2.33 ERA and a 0.94 whip and a 9.6 Ks per 9 after 11 starts, and he thinks that maybe the injury might have impacted his final numbers, which were still decent. He says in any case, he's building up to return, and he definitely deserves your attention again. I don't know how long he's going to be on this rehab stint, but seeing his fastball up to 98, he seems to be recovering well after these starts as well. So ultimately, Skubal had a called strike and whiff rate just under 30% last season. An expected ERA still 2.86, a FIP 2.96, and again, he was one of the better pitchers before the injury. He was like looking like a total breakout guy at the start of last season, and his return to the rotation at some point should be a boost that the Tigers desperately need. So if you are able to stash someone on your IL, I think Tarik Skubal is definitely that guy with how thin pitching has been this season. Thank you guys for tuning in again to Must Add. Let me know what you guys think of these 4 players. Subscribe, join the Discord, and I will see you guys next week.